Next case on the docket, the people versus the stall talkers. Are you okay in there? They made eye contact through the stall gap. Some people talk in elevators. Some talk at the gas pump. But some choose to strike up conversations when you're at your most vulnerable. Pants down, soul exposed, cheek to toilet protector. Today we put those people on trial because this isn't just about small talk. It's about justice. Docket number 014 is now in session. The people versus stall talkers. This court recognizes your right to remain silent and really wishes you actually would. Your Honor, the charges are serious. Unsolicited toilet side chit-chat, invasion of emotional space, and reckless vocalization in an acoustically treacherous environment. Objection, Your Honor. My client was just being friendly. It's called manners. This is a bathroom, not brunch. Overruled. I had barely sat down when it happened. Hey, you good in there? Just floated through the stall gap like a ghost with boundary issues. I haven't even finished unfolding the seat liner. Would you say this interaction caused trauma? I now pee in 3-second increments with my feet up on the stall door so no one knows I'm in there. Sugar, the only talking I want near a toilet is from the automatic flush, and even that's pushing it. Last time someone asked me what I was doing in there, I said making sweet tea while I pee. What do you think I'm doing? But surely, Your Honor, we mustn't criminalize connection. Bathroom bonding is a long-held tradition. So is silence. Proceed carefully. And while the stall talkers may be guilty, they're not the only chit-chat offenders in this courtroom today. After reviewing the facts, this court finds the defendant guilty of verbal bathroom vandalism. You are hereby banned from initiating conversation in any tiled echo chamber. Your new best friend is awkward silence, and a sign that reads, "Do not disturb unless drowning." Court dismissed. And while stall talkers leave you emotionally exposed, our next defendant leaves you physically damp. Let's proceed to docket number 015. Docket number 015, the people versus spit talkers. This court recognizes the right to free speech, but not at the cost of splashback. Your Honor, the defendant is charged with reckless lip launch, unsolicited misting, and third-degree droplet assault. Objection! That's just how they talk. They're passionate, expressive even. Then express yourself. From behind plexiglass. Overruled. It started during a team meeting. He said the word synergy, and I felt a drizzle. By collaboration, I was in a full rinse cycle. I didn't take notes. I took cover. I sat next to one at church. Pastor said baptism, and they took it as a challenge. You shouldn't need scuba gear just to hear the gospel, sugar. Would you say you suffered permanent trauma? My mascara melted off in the shape of the 10 Commandments. Surely we can show a little compassion. My client speaks with passion, with power, with puddles, and now with consequences. Proceed to sentencing. This court finds the defendant guilty of high-velocity verbiage. Your sentence? You are hereby required to carry a personal splash guard and alert others when speaking moistly. You are banned from using the following words in public: passion, potential, and anything starting with a P. Court dismissed. The court will take a brief moment to air dry from that last case. Unfortunately, this next one is just as moist. Docket number 016, the people versus loud slurpers. This court is equipped with ears, and they have suffered. Your Honor, we present the charge of prolonged broth suction, fork-to-face splash damage,
and public consumption of sound waves.
Objection. My client was savoring the flavor with passion.
Sustained. Passion should not sound like a bathtub drain.
He didn't even wait for me to cool down. He came in hot with chopsticks and chaos. The slurp was so long, I saw steam form a tornado. Would you say the experience was traumatizing? There was ramen in my broth that chose to leave. I once sat across from a slurper at Waffle House. Sounded like a Hoover vacuum getting therapy.
Did you attempt to intervene?
I tried making eye contact, sugar, but he slurped through it like my soul was a straw wrapper.
Are we really condemning flavor enthusiasm?
Yes, loudly. Proceed to sentencing. The court finds the defendant guilty of culinary cacophony. Your sentence? You are hereby ordered to exclusively eat dry toast in the presence of others, and must listen to your own slurping on loop at 125% volume. Court dismissed. And if you thought that was messy, wait till you see who left an entire public restroom looking like a water park. Docket number 017 is slippery. Docket number 017, the people versus sink splashers. The court is tired of looking like it just washed a golden retriever every time someone rinses their hands. Your Honor, the defendant is charged with creating a splash zone with no warning, leaving countertops looking like a slip and slide, and pretending one paper towel can clean up a small flood.
Objection! They were washing thoroughly.
This ain't a baptism. Overruled. I thought it was dry. I touched it with my sleeve. Now I just smell like wet soap and shame. It's a sink, not a water feature. I shouldn't need floaties to wash my hands in a public restroom.
The defendant is found guilty of counter-saturation and faucet enthusiasm. Your sentence? You must carry your own microfiber towel and complete 40 hours of sink etiquette education at the local YMCA. Court dismissed. They came for the discount. They stayed for the tantrum. They threatened to speak to a manager in a gas station.
Docket number 018 is now in session. The people versus rude consumers. This court has had enough of public tantrums over expired coupons, imaginary return policies, and a tone that can melt a barcode scanner.
Your Honor, the defendant is charged with weaponizing tone, attempting to return items from 2014, and threatening the livelihood of underpaid employees over store policies they invented mid-yell.
They asked for a refund on half a candle. They used it for 3 weeks. They said it didn't spark joy. And when I told them all sales were final, they said I was personally attacking their energy.
And what did they do next?
Tried to Venmo the manager, $10 less than the listed price.
Objection. My client just believes in advocating for their worth.
You can advocate in your Yelp review. Overruled. I once got cussed out because the deli ran out of salami. Salami, sugar. Lady said I ruined her picnic and her spirit. I offered her turkey and a hug, and she threw her purse. Here's the return policy right here. This court needs holy water and hazard pay.
This court finds the defendant guilty of retail rudeness in the first degree. Your sentence? 1 month of mandatory checkout work at the world's busiest dollar store on a Saturday during tax-free weekend. Court dismissed. And if you thought rude consumers were chaotic, just wait until we deal with people who have no idea what personal space even means. Docket number 019 is uncomfortably close.
Docket number 019, the people versus personal space invaders. This courtroom was built on boundaries. 6 feet may be gone, but some folks are still whispering in earlobes like they're confessing sins.
Your Honor, we charge the defendant with hovering in checkout lines, close talking in elevators, and turning normal conversations into nose-to-nose hostage negotiations.
I could feel their breath on my neck, which is now why I wear this hoodie. They stood behind me in line, humming. I moved forward, they moved closer. I tried to fake a phone call, and they complimented my ringtone. And how did you escape?
I dropped my wallet and I bolted. I live in the woods now.
Listen, sugar, if I can smell your gum, feel your heat, and count your nose pores, you're too close. One lady leaned in so far, I reflectively ordered her lip balm.
They just wanted to feel connected.
Then they can connect with boundaries. Proceed to sentencing. The defendant is guilty of spattle crimes and unwanted intimacy via shoulder proximity. Your sentence? 2 weeks in a maze made entirely of retractable crowd control ropes. You must stay at least one hula hoop away from everyone. Court dismissed. Docket number 020, the people versus the slow down passers. You know the ones. They fly by full of confidence and caffeine, only to settle in front of you, going 2 miles an hour slower. Oh, the audacity, the betrayal, the death of cruise control.
Your Honor, we present charges of speed fluctuation terrorism, left lane loitering, and unnecessary overtaking with malicious intent. They didn't pass to get ahead. They passed to invoke feelings of rage.
They passed me like they were in a Fast and Furious sequel. Then they slowed down like they were sightseeing for squirrels. My cruise control gave up. It just turned off.
What happened next?
I tailgated them with tears in my eyes, listening to Enya, full volume.
Oh, I know this one. That little Honda slid past me, then dropped to a speed that makes molasses look reckless. Sugar, I had to pray, sing a hymn, and scream into a donut just to calm down. Justice needs a passing lane.
Maybe they just got distracted. Maybe they had to sneeze or check the GPS.
Then they can slow down in a cul-de-sac. This isn't NASCAR with narcolepsy. Proceed to the sentencing.
The defendant is guilty of reckless pacing and vehicular pettiness. Your sentence? You are hereby required to drive behind a tractor on a one-lane road during a surprise parade with no bathroom in sight. Court dismissed.
And if this docket has you fired up, you clearly need to see part 1. We've already sentenced stall chatters, aisle blockers, and a microwave quitter named Craig. So do yourself and your blood pressure a favor. Go back and watch episode 1 of Court of Common Nonsense. Because justice is a binge-worthy journey. If you're all caught up on the Courtroom series, then YouTube thinks you'll enjoy this video instead. Click your chaos, laugh, repeat, and I'll see you over there. But until then, stay blessed, my friends.